feel like it's just the never ending of laundry. I try to do small loads at a time. So like I have 2 hampers, and what I normally do is when I see the one, like I keep converting our hamper from in our bedroom to the hamper in here, and as soon as I see the one that's in here is full, I do a load of laundry just so I don't feel overwhelmed. And I try to make sure it's all done in one day. I don't know if this makes sense. The smaller the load, the easier it is to get done, but I know that's sometimes just not reality for people, but that's just what I do. Another thing that I will be talking about, just not right now, because not that I don't have the time. I have the time, but I need to get other things done. I am currently in the weaning process with milk production. So I've been feeling a little bit crazy lately, and it's been a little, like, it's just strange. Like anytime there's a change, it just feels strange, but I'm gonna go more into depth about how I'm feeling, mainly because I feel like a lot of people don't talk about the weaning process for drying up your milk. I feel like I just wanted to share my emotions and where my hormones are at, because it is really true. Your hormones go through a huge shift, making you just feel all these senses and emotions, which is just, it's completely normal. But if you are currently going through this, I just don't want you to feel alone. Not that I feel alone, but it is just completely normal, and I'll just be sharing some of the feelings I'm feeling and why. I just hope that is helpful for you. My laundry is currently in the process, so now I just have to do these dishes, and then I want to wax my fridge today. You can't really tell, but there's actually fingerprints all over it. That's like one thing I try to do once a week. And of course then I have to get rid of all this water because our fridge is a SHIT, or a piece of that. But I'm gonna probably do like a small food shop tomorrow, but I also have to do some meal prep, like just make more of the goodies that me and Gino have, and also prep for dinner. But first and foremost, before I start anything, I need more coffee. No one tells you the vlogger issues with one hand. Does anyone else like to reuse their cups from like Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks? Because that's totally me. I'm a weirdo like that. So these are the zucchini oat cups. I've already made a video on how to make these, but I will just put the recipe linked below, or if you want to go watch the video on how to make them exactly, but I'm just going to start prepping them.
I've been waiting all my life for someone like you, like you. I would watch the days go by, wasted in blue. I was out of use. Now every day, every night, every moment with you, I'm walking on air. And every day, every way, I feel I can't lose.
I swear, I just went to go check on her, and like didn't even make a noise and her eyes shot open. So I was just about to take my shower and now I guess I can. This chunky monkey. I know, baby, you're hungry. Update, it got everywhere. Don't be lazy and take off the clothes. These are how the, I guess, I don't know what to call them, cranberry peanut butter balls. That's how they turned out. It's a no-bake dish, so these are super delicious. I made them also last week, but in like a little square form, but I thought the balls would be a little easier to eat.
And swallow.
Gino just did something really inappropriate when I was saying that. But, and then these are how the zucchini oatmeal cups came out. I still needed to make the spinach cups, but I think I'm just going to make those tomorrow, but that's what they look like. These are our favorite. They're so good. Alright, so I'm currently in the weaning process. So if you don't know what that means, I'm stopping my milk production. So I wanted to explain pretty much what I'm going through at the moment with my weaning process. Now, if you don't know what weaning means, I'm pretty much weaning myself or my boobs from making any more breast milk. It's pretty much always in me and Gino's plan to, I guess, wean or stop my production around like January, February. The main reason would be because we want to have another baby. At least for my body, my period is not existent. So I basically have no fertility, and when you breastfeed, you may not have a period, and some people may have a period and could get pregnant and everything, but I just don't think that that's my forte. However, ever since the beginning, I should guess briefly explain my whole breastfeeding journey. It's never really been that easy. To start off with, I was never able to have Mila actually latch onto my nipple, so I had to use a nipple shield. And with that, so I was using a nipple shield, and she could only actually nurse off of my right side and not off of my left side. So that's why I started having to pump. So I had to exclusively pump my left side. So what I would be doing is, okay, get the nipple shield on, nurse my baby for 30 to 45 minutes. She was never really the best nurser. And then pump both sides. So pretty much what then ended up happening, without me really realizing, I had an enormous amount of milk. So I pretty much gave myself an oversupply of milk. It was pretty much like a blessing and a curse, because every 1 to 2 hours after I'd nurse or pump, I'd feel extremely engorged. And just being honest, I probably made about maybe 60, 70 ounces of breast milk a day. I was freezing well over 50. It was insane. So breastfeeding can just be a huge mental game, to put in perspective. Whether your baby's not latching, worrying about your milk supply, just hooking up to a breast pump, it's just, you're constantly around the clock. I always promised myself once mentally I felt like I was done, I'm gonna be done, and I'm almost 7 months postpartum, and I think we're pretty much set up to be able to stop. And I definitely have, where I feel confident enough that I have enough breast milk frozen. Because I was pumping so much, I was able to have an entire, I guess, box freezer frozen full of milk, my regular freezer full of milk, and now milk has actually moved to my mother-in-law's house. I did end up donating 3 times to mamas in need of breast milk, so I feel like my duty is done with breast milk production. My baseline story, it was a lot. It was a lot of me. I stayed completely committed. I lost a lot of nights of sleep because some nights she slept through the night, but I had to wake up and pump, and then it took forever for me to fall back asleep. I'm feeling at peace with my weaning process and wanting to stop producing breast milk. Unfortunately, it doesn't come easy when you decide you want to stop making breast milk. Unfortunately, you do experience a huge hormonal shift, which is, it's just normal. So now your body is telling your brain and your hormones that, hey, I no longer need to make breast milk anymore. And basically what's happening is my hormones are trying to regulate itself and figure itself out. So there's two hormones that you make when you're breastfeeding. It's prolactin and oxytocin, if I'm saying that right. So prolactin is the milk-making hormone. Oxytocin is the hormone that produces your letdown. Letdown means when your milk is coming out of your boobs. So oxytocin actually is, or both of them, they're considered like the love hormone. So it's making you feel calm, it makes you feel good, all that good stuff. And obviously when those hormones are dropping, it's going to leave you feeling moody, PMSy. Some people may experience depression. I haven't experienced any depression, but I never actually have. But some people may get into a fog of feeling like that. It's only because your hormones are changing. And but the big thing that I've so far have felt was fatigue. When your oxytocin levels are dropping, you actually feel extremely tired. Whew. Which I have. Like, I feel like I cannot catch up with sleep. I mean, I've never slept good, but like now it's like I'm so tired. But like almost like you feel like you're sick. Like before this I napped, kind of, when she was napping. I can't sleep during the day, but I think I might have fallen asleep. But that's probably the biggest factor so far. I'm feeling extremely fatigued, other than feeling extremely uncomfortable and engorged and like I have two big rocks on my chest. But what I've been doing, I guess it's been about a week, I started to drop my nighttime pumping session. Beep. So you either, okay, really you can do this however you feel is most comfortable, but I wanted to go the route of just dropping off one pump session at a time and just doing longer and longer spans. So what I first started was I dropped my nighttime pump. I do like a 2 a.m. and then a 7 a.m. and then I would do like a 10:30, and then I think I did like a 1:30, 2:30, and then like a 6:30, and then like a 9:30. So I was pumping a lot. Obviously I dropped then the middle of the night one, and then I just slowly spanned out. Like I would add an hour, so say like after the 7 a.m. one, maybe I'd go 8 a.m., 9 a.m. along with say like the 12 or 1, then I'd span it out to like 1 or 2 or 3. And then like your boobs will just kind of slow down a little bit. You're going to feel uncomfortable. Pretty much I did that. And today I pumped at 7 a.m. and didn't pump till 3, which was like really hard. And I'm going to pump again at 9 and then try to go through the entire night. It's up to you how quick and abrupt you want to just drop your sessions. Some people just go completely cold turkey. That may make your milk go away even quicker, but you could experience clogged ducts. You could experience even worse of a hormonal shift. So if you clicked on this video and you're currently weaning and you're wondering why you're feeling all these crazy emotions, it's your hormones. Trust me, it's your hormones. Hormones play a huge effect on your mood. It's a chemical reaction going inside your brain, so of course you're going to feel some sort of reaction. That's just like right before you give birth, right before you get your period, after you have a baby, anything. It's your hormones. So the same exact thing is going to happen when you wean off of making breast milk. Another weird thing I noticed, I mean at least today, I'm noticing a little bit of cramping in my uterus too. I took an ovulation test and it was obviously negative. I don't think anything's going to happen that quick. Like I said, our main goal here and why we wanted to stop breast milk production It's because I just want to get my cycle back, and eventually, hopefully, we'll get pregnant this year. My doctor did say it could take either 4 to 6 weeks for your period to return again. It could take 3 months, 6 months, or even a year. It could take a very long time. I mean, we just don't know. I'm grateful enough to be at the point where I have enough breast milk frozen for her to have breast milk till she's a year old. That was just my personal goal. That's just kind of what I always wanted, was her to have breast milk till she's 1. And of course she is having solids now. So, like I said, I think I did a job well done, and worked very hard to get what I got with all the frozen milk. I hope I didn't lose you there. If you're still listening, then thank you, but it's a lot. I'm just explaining what's going on with my weaning process. Yours may be completely different than how I'm feeling, and of course I'm going to keep everyone updated with how everything else goes and how the process goes and everything. But But I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and there's also a bell icon that once you click and enable to it, then you'll get a notification on your phone to whenever I post a video. And I hope you found this a little helpful if you're going through it yourself. My baby.